This is 567 Cape Talk, your #1 news and talk station.
Hi, I'm Bianca Resnikov and we're at the Design Indaba, where over 2,000 Cape Townians and people from all around the world, both young designers and leaders in the field, have flocked to the Cape Town Convention Centre to listen to a program of international inventors and creators talk about design. We're going to speak one-on-one with some of those inventors, so come on, let's go do it. We're about to speak to New York-based graphic designer, teacher, illustrator and author Paul Sahre, who's really famous for designing everything from book covers to posters and album covers. Let's see what he has to say. Can you talk us through the process, or your process, of designing a book cover or a poster or a cover for a music video?
Well, read first. It's one of the side benefits of designing books and book covers. I always feel like if I'm designing a book cover, I have to read the book, especially if it's fiction. And what that does, though, is it gives you a very strange filter. Like, the only books I read, by and large, this may sound a little strange, but it's only the books I'm commissioned to design because there's so much reading involved. So it's not like I have downtime. When I'm on my way to work, I'm reading. When I'm at home at night, I'm reading. I'm typically always reading, but it's something I've been commissioned. So therefore, I'd be very careful about what I say yes to, because don't want to be reading just anything.
How do you make sure that the cover doesn't upstage the book?
Well, I always feel like, too, a book cover has a role in selling a book, still does.
Yes.
Of course, who knows where that's going to go. But it is a kind of an entry into an experience that you're going to have. It's a door, sort of. And I always feel like you have to be careful about what you give away and what you hold back with a cover. And I always feel like a cover, if it should intuitively feel right for a book. And I think I would probably say someone might not totally understand my cover until they read the book, and then they'll probably understand it a different way than they did before they started. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, a book cover is also, it's just, hopefully it says pick me up, you know.
Looking to the future, what changes would you like to see in your field in the next 10 years?
I hope that we get back to a more sensible place in terms of where we think it's going, because I see it going in places. Look, I was, designing websites in the late 90s before the dot-com bust. Never was very satisfying to me, and I don't see myself doing digital work.
You see yourself
as
a purist?
I wouldn't say that. I just think I have a tendency to want to hold something that I'm making. And yeah, I do hope that, maybe it's okay that the profession's going off in a certain area and it leaves me in this other area where then I'm left alone to do my thing. That's the way I tend to think about it a little bit. So, it'll all shake out on its own, and I think it'll all be good. I really think that some of the changes, in terms of some of the changes technology have brought, just have given us opportunities to do things in ways we've never been able to do them before. And I use radio as an example. Radio, old. I'm not sure if you're familiar with a radio show called This American Life or Radio Lab. These are newish radio programs that are available through podcasts. They do broadcast still, but they're using an old medium, but using new technology to reinvigorate and create really interesting things. And I kind of look at print that way. I think I don't want to think about it as holding on to something that's antiquated. I don't think it's that. I think that there's always going to be a place to design physical objects, regardless of how much time we spend staring at screens. And look, if I wanted to be doing that work, I'd already be doing it.
What advice do you have for young graphic designers starting out in the field?
Design is a process, and its nature, its basic nature is not knowing where you're going to end up. I mean, you can't anticipate. A designer, I think they're doing it the right way, you're put into a situation that you maybe don't have that much control over, and you're responding to that situation. For lack of a better way of explaining it, you're solving a problem. It's a fairly antiquated term already, but and I think that if you think about it, there's a lot of anxiety when you're put into this situation. It's not of your making. Oh my God, what's it going to be? I find myself at the beginning of a project kind of having a little more trouble sleeping and being concerned about what this thing is going to be. And if you feel like if you could just imagine it fully formed in your head from the beginning, things would go so much more smoothly. And I guess that would be true, but you would do something a lot less interesting. Absolutely. And so I always find myself, it's almost a mantra for me, is to try to avoid really having a set plan as I go forward with a project. And I hope that I remain open to the multitude of possibilities that present themselves during a project to take something somewhere that you haven't been. Because I always feel like, if you're anxious about not knowing where you're going, it's the wrong way to think about it. You want to think about it the opposite way, that you're in exactly the place you should be as a designer if you have no idea what to do next. That's where you want to be. Otherwise, why go there? You've already been.
Thanks, Paul, for your time with us. And there you have it, a one-to-one at the Design Indaba with CapeTalk.
This is 567 Cape Talk, your #1 news and talk station.